Hello everyone and welcome to our webinar. Thanks for joining us. As everyone is still getting signed in, we'll just go over a few housekeeping items. Please think of questions throughout the webinar and direct them to the Q&A section. We'll be answering them throughout and at the end of the webinar. This webinar will be recorded and we will share the recording with you shortly after the webinar is finished. If we don't get to all of your questions, we'll follow up with you afterward. Reach out to info@jamf.com and we will also get you in contact with someone at Jamf quickly. So thank you for joining today's session, Advanced Mac Management. My name is Kat Garbus and I will be guiding you through today's session. Here's a quick look at our agenda. First, I'll do a Jamf overview for those who we have not yet worked with, and then we'll dive right in and start talking about how Jamf can help with foundational needs, capabilities, workflows, and then of course, we'll talk about how a strong MDM foundation can help with security. Then I'll share some third-party solutions as well as other Jamf solutions that can help build a well-rounded approach to managing and securing devices. For those new in working with Jamf, we've been innovating and supporting on Apple devices in the workplace for the last 20 years. We started with MDM and since have expanded to supporting organizations with identity and security solutions. Our goal is to create a holistic approach to supporting Apple technology, but also ensuring that organizations have exactly what they need when they are fitting Apple technology into their greater infrastructure. Today, Jamf is helping more than 71,000 customers globally and supporting more than 29 million Apple devices. Our customers include 7 of the top 10 technology companies as ranked by Fortune, 9 of the top 10 largest organizations, and 22 of the top 25 valuable brands. We've seen Apple adoption take off, and whether these organizations have a small Apple device footprint, a large one, or they're just starting to think about it, we are helping them. We are making sure that Apple technology will fit wonderfully into any IT stack. And don't just take our word for it. Third-party reviewers consider Jamf a top solution where we've been named the #1 leader since 2018 on G2, as well as the top IT management product. So our goal is to help organizations be enterprise secure, be consumer simple, and protect the privacy of users. Before we really start diving into these advanced workflows, management and security go hand in hand, so I do think it's beneficial to talk a little bit about the security landscape for a brief moment. According to PwC's recently released 2023 Global Digital Trust Insights report, cybersecurity has improved in many ways since 2020. Over 70% of the 3,500 C-suite leaders from a wide range of industries and global locations initiated improvements in cybersecurity in 2021. However, we still have a long way to go. 38% of respondents believe they had completely mitigated risks related to enabling remote and hybrid work, for instance. 35% reported complete mitigation of issues around swiftly accelerated cloud adoption. However, only 3% report that they have fully mitigated emerging cyber risks. The truth of it all, unfortunately, cyber criminals truly only need one way in to create havoc for your organizations. So, this is where we are going to spend some time talking about foundational needs, capabilities, workflows, and settings, and how we're helping organizations with Jamf Pro. Then we'll build again later on in security. This session is a continuation of our Management for Beginners ebook. For those of you on the call already using Jamf Pro, you're likely quite familiar with it, and we're looking to expand on those skill sets today. For those who are new, Jamf Pro is what we referenced earlier as that #1 MDM. We have patented reporting, unique features, and workflows that simply can't be found anywhere else. Our goal is to provide and go beyond the MDM framework to help IT admins maintain and secure technology, whether that technology is within the 4 walls of an organization's office, home office, or on the go. We have countless integrations to ensure your Apple technology fits into your full stack. Here are some of the topics we will cover throughout the session today. So let's start with PKI certificates. A PKI certificate is a text file that contains identification of data on a Mac, users, and devices. In Jamf Pro, you can choose a built-in certificate authority, CA for short, integrate with a trusted third-party CA DigiCert, Venafi, or Active Directory certificate services. Or you can configure your own PKI if you have access to an external CA that supports the simple certificate enrollment protocol. Here's what it looks like in Jamf Pro. In Jamf Pro, you can choose the built-in certificate, management certificate templates. You can download it. You can create a backup even if there's an internal certificate. You can leverage that as well. So this can be used to issue certificates to both computers and mobile devices. Encryption with certificates not only secures all communication, but it allows for immediate revocation of access from people, perhaps leaving the company, or devices that are falling out of compliance. So when we think of that security lens, encryption will truly help with making sure these are more secure. And if there are any changes, you can support that. So let's talk about a push certificate. A push certificate is an encrypted file generated by Apple that establishes trust between a third-party MDM like Jamf Pro and Apple's push notification service, or APNS for short. And a quick summary of kind of what I just said. So let's talk a little bit about how to find them in Jamf Pro. This is where you would find them. You can view a list of certificates by exporting to a .csv, TXT, or XML files. Jamf Pro makes this process easier by walking IT admins through a process to create that push certificate, or .pem, to upload to Jamf Pro. You will need a valid Jamf ID and an Apple ID, and it's critical that Mac admins keep those certificates up to date. Otherwise, if they lapse, the Apple push notification service will lose connection to your mobile device management server and endpoints. So we definitely don't want that happening. A lot of folks may not realize we have a partnership with Microsoft, and that partnership has led to multiple integrations. I'm going to talk about conditional access a little bit today, and our partnership and conditional access essentially allows an organization to set parameters for securing the organization's data in multiple locations. A Mac enrolled in Jamf and registered in Azure AD, it all checks out, they'll get access to the tools they need for the day. Now, if something is off or not compliant, they can resolve that with an IT ticket and action to remediate. So a few bullets on how this looks, but for those of you who are visual learners like myself, this is how that would look like at a high level. So it's enrolled in Jamf, registered with Azure AD, and then they're all going to feed that data and talk to each other. And if everything checks out, that employee will have access to resources, and if not, that access will get blocked. They can open an IT ticket, or in Jamf Pro, a self-service ticket. A few examples of what conditional access can gate access to: email, OneDrive, Word, Excel, and cloud applications. This is really exciting, especially for those of you who had joined us for JNUC. We had talked about TeamViewer remote Mac admin access, and I think everyone cheered. So for those of you unfamiliar with TeamViewer, it is a fast and secure solution for gaining access to computers and networks remotely. This establishes remote screen sharing connection between Jamf Pro admin and the end user's computer. This improves security and compliance as admins can view, assess, solve problems quickly without any information lost in translation. And it speeds up problem solving. When those problems impact security, time is of the essence. So you'll need a TeamViewer integration configuration added to your Jamf Pro instance to access this capability. So let's start bringing in some of the security workflows along with these Jamf Pro features and additional features that would be helpful. So we're just going to build upon what we've been talking about. So first, let's talk a little bit about the Jamf API. The Jamf API it allows organizations to fit Jamf Pro into their tech stack, creating a cohesive system where Mac management is integrated. This powers interconnectivity between Jamf and other vendors and allows for integrations such as Jamf Protect or Jamf Connect. the teacher app, and more. So this token-based authentication scheme of the Jamf API, it hardens security posture of devices interfacing with third-party applications and integrations. It's a RESTful interface, which means it follows secure software communication standards. Here is a sample workflow, and integrations allow for that more holistic view of Jamf's capabilities and a Loctite connection with Jamf Protect, endpoint protection capabilities with the network for threat prevention for Mac. So this can allow admins to prevent macOS malware, to protect against specific events, and to monitor endpoints and remediate issues quickly. Webhooks. This is really awesome. It allows a Mac admin to subscribe to a specific event on a Jamf Pro instance. So when the event happens, an HTTP post payload is sent to a specific URL. They allow admins to use real-time events for Jamf Pro to build custom workflows on demand using programming language of their choice. So here's an example of how this looks in Jamf Pro. We can create a new one. You will name it. You type in the URL there, any connection timeouts. And when it comes to webhooks and cybersecurity, this really keeps IT admins up to date on real-time events in their instances, XML or JSON. So we saw some of those payloads there, like a computer added for new enrollment, computer check-in, computer patch policy completed. So those were very brief, but those are some of the webhooks you can leverage. Distribution points. So Jamf Pro supports file share distribution points and a cloud distribution point. Jamf will reach out to an on-premise distribution point to find apps and deploy them to devices or users with file sharing. Admins can also distribute apps using Jamf Cloud Hosted Distribution Point, Jamf Cloud Distribution Service, or JCDS for short. Distribution points are servers to host files for distribution to computers and mobile devices. Jamf Pro can do file share distribution, cloud distribution, on-premise, to sum that all up. So admins can distribute, and they can distribute packages, scripts, in-house apps, books, all can be distributed using a distribution point. So distribution points and security, to be fair, it can be a weak spot organizationally if they are more users are located globally. So distributing files to Macs through an absolutely secure distribution point is critical. So if you have any concerns, let's talk about that. If you want to make sure you've set it up properly, let us know. We have experts in-house that can help with ensuring your distribution points, if you're using them, they're set up properly. We have resources for that. So a quick little snippet here, just to give a visual of what this looks like. And we see some of the packages here like CrashPlan, Firefox, Chrome. Perfect. So there's a lot here, but scripting, configuration profiles, disk encryption, all working together. These three together can really help with enhancing security workflows, such as automating common tasks. That can help increase security tenfold. And it takes out that human error in implementation, as well as that chance an admin might forget a task. You can even set timers in a way for tasks, or schedules is a better way to put it, like every week do this, or every week check that. So this can be also done through scripting to automate some of these tasks, and it'll give those admins more control over the Mac applications. So of course, Jamf Pro has some automation as well, but you can build upon that with scripting. So configuration profiles, those can enforce and enhance security by their own right by enforcing security protocols and passcodes, behavior, and more. Configuration profiles are built into Apple Configurator 2, Profile Manager, and Jamf Pro. Can be deployed to devices and users with MDM enabled. So there's two different ways to distribute that. It could be done automatically or available in self-service. And then, of course, disk encryption. While scripting and configuration profiles are powerful tools, Anything that can control the actions of a device must be secured, absolutely. So disk encryption guarantees that information is secure behind a passcode. It encrypts code and scripts and moving them into an unreadable status that'll be very difficult to decipher, and that is built into the Mac. So disk encryption also allows admins to manage and enable File Vault on computers. File Vault encodes info on the Mac, preventing anyone from reading the information without that unique passcode. Extension attributes. These are custom fields you can create to almost really have any type of inventory data from devices. So earlier I had mentioned Jamf has patented features. Our smart groups, or our reporting is another way to look at it, is patented. And you can feed extension attributes into those smart groups for those additional inventory data. So you can get even more advanced with scripting and just really great custom fields. And here's an example that our partners from Acronis helped us with. So this is Jamf Pro. This is showing and featuring an Acronis integration. And these are some of the extension attributes. We want to do an anti-malware scan. Last backup, when did that happen on these machines? When will the next backup be? Is the protection plan on here? So you can, again, have these integrations built in, and this is just one example of many possibilities with extension attributes. So mass actions is another way to perform tedious tasks on many computers simultaneously. With Jamf Pro, admins can create mass actions on any smart group or static group. Computer search results or lists of license usage matches, saves time in scripting, and we have a lot of this built in. So mass actions could really be truly anything, and here's some examples, again, in Jamf Pro of what we're looking at. So let's view. So we've got some devices here, and if we look at the actions, if I want to perhaps send a remote command, here's some of these examples. I can update inventory. I can remotely restart the device if needed, shut down the device, set Bluetooth, set personal hotspot, refresh cellular plans. So I'm listing some off here, but again, these are some of the examples. And then lastly, app lifecycle management. This is a lot, but just know that Jamf lets IT focus on really making sure that we can take app update monitoring, creating packages, managing distribution and delivery in a simplified way. So our goal is to help IT save time with integrations, as well as making sure that there are faster updates with enhanced security to get end users the latest version of apps to be productive. If an app or an operating system perhaps is out of date, that can also pose some security concerns. As apps continue to be the most dominant part of an end user experience, Mac application management is truly vital. So we'll leverage app installers, and it's a curated collection of Jamf managed and Jamf provided installer packages that streamline deployment and offers streamlined alternative uses to complex workflows. And of course, to ensure security, they also validate the integrity of patch definitions before allowing deployment. So once verified, that new app version will be deployed, and this will save a ton of time. There are packages that Jamf sources, repackages, and hosts. The Jamf app catalog is a collection of software titles, including a list of over 1,000 third-party macOS software titles supported in Jamf Pro. Just also one more point, app installers must be in a smart computer group in Jamf Pro. And if that target smart group has a software title installed, the app installer deploys that update. So we call this patch policy workflows. So again, keeping things update, secure, and simplified. So let's talk about incorporating security solutions. We offer Jamf Connect. Jamf Connect offers simplified over-the-air setup for Apple devices by allowing that user to authenticate against an identity provider, such as Azure or Okta, to name a few. We see here in this example is that authentication. And this is wonderful for your accounts with a cloud IDP, or if you're maybe not there yet, but you're exploring it, we can help. If you are maybe binding Macs to AD and anytime that password updates, it falls out of compliance, Jamf Connect actually says, oh, password change. Hang on a second. Let's update your password, and you don't have to get locked out of the machines anymore and do creative scripting / borderline hacking to fix it. Jamf Connect also helps with Zero Trust Network Access, or ZTNA. It's got really fast remote access, it's simple and secure, and then of course it is future-proof. For those of you who are perhaps looking to upgrade your VPN, this is really next gen. It's purpose-built for Apple. It's lightning fast. It basically makes sure that end user is authenticating, and it's also doing those checks in the background, making sure that user is who they are, but also checks along the way. One thing that we have found, someone is a bad actor or trying to hack through, they're going to try to move laterally through the network, and this is where Jamf Connect can really help with that. I also want to touch on Jamf Protect. It's purpose-built endpoint security solution for Apple technology. So a lot of cross-platform solutions, they may not be looking for vulnerabilities if there are any on the Apple side of things. It's also looking for odd behaviors as well. Just making sure that, I would say this is a big one, that same day ready for any Apple operating system or hardware updates. You don't have to wait and say, oh, this isn't ready for the latest macOS or M2, or one day maybe we'll have M3, who knows? But anytime Apple has an update, Jamf Protect and all of our solutions really are same day ready. It'll integrate directly with Jamf Pro to remediate, and it also integrates with system information endpoint managers like Splunk. So it'll help block phishing attacks. Phishing attacks are the number one way for an organization to get attacked. It'll be real-time blocking of risky or unsafe content, and a lot of it's innocent. People may not realize that they're about to click on something unsafe. So it's really great that Jamf Protect will help with that, with threat prevention. And then, of course, acceptable use policies, just content filtering and building on that. I touched on some of these solutions today. Some of these I'm just kind of sharing with you to show you what's possible. We integrate with Microsoft. We have that partnership with them. Identity providers, here are a few of them. We also integrate with Cisco solutions as well. I showcased in extension attributes the Acronis for data backup solutions. We have a great partnership there. And then, of course, you can feed the security data into system information endpoint managers like Splunk. Few other partners that we work with, Red Canary, AWS. For a full list of already built integration and partnerships, please check out jamf.com community marketplace. This will be wonderful for integrating with your existing IT stack, or save you from really having to do any additional work. And then finally, all of this, we talked about device management, identity access, endpoint security as we think of advanced Mac management and advanced MDM feeding into security. The holistic approach is what we like to think of as trusted access. That is the approach we're looking for. And your employees with trusted access can be productive, really, on the devices they love, while ensuring that your organization trusts. I do want to be clear, trusted access is a concept, but it's the concept of leveraging MDM, identity, and endpoint security together. And this is really what we're after, helping organizations manage their devices, secure them, and of course, extend into what else is out there or already existing in your IT stack. Next steps, if you are interested in any trials of our solutions, you can try one, all of them, let us know. Visit jamf.com/solutions. You can also request a trial request and connect with the Jamf team or any of our authorized partners. If you are buying Apple hardware, talk to your partner about us. Reach out to us directly. Again, info@jamf.com was the email address I shared earlier. And then I want to share with you some resources. This was a continuation from the beginner guide to Mac management, but here are some additional guides that we think could be of benefit. To reference in further detail, the advanced guide to Mac management was based off of this session today. So we hope you learned something new. Thank you so much, and we look forward to further working with you soon.